after a 2-day drive, we are back to the Alps. We left abruptly and early last time. We was catching loads of fish, but due to family commitments, something went on at home and we had to leave. I think we was on for a big one, so we've come back for a bit of revenge. Not the same lake, different water, very good chance for big fish if they're on the feed, because everything, including England, is about a month behind weather-wise. It's still pretty cold out here for the Alps at this time of the year. There's still snow on the mountains, and we did think about moving the venue, but in the end we thought it's about taking risks. We've driven out here and we're going to go for it anyway. We're just going to go to a campsite, set the bivvies up, because it's days only where we're going, so we're probably going to camp at night and fish the days, but it's going to be a lot of hard work, getting up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, not getting back to bed till midnight. It's a public water, so I don't know how busy it's going to be with other anglers, but we're going to get there, have a look round, start our plan of attack. I got down here yesterday, we had a walk round and I found some fish in a very snaggy area. There was about 20 or 30 fish there, some very large fish as well. And I did have 18-pound fluorocast on, and although it's a very strong line, I don't think it's up to that. So I had to change over to the 30-pound descend braid last night in the camp. I've re-spooled, all 3 spools with that, so we've got some extra strong kit on just to withstand all them snags. We set up a big base camp, we've got all our kit there, so we've got somewhere to travel back at night, get our heads down for a few hours, and then back down here at first light. So as the week warms up, I'm hoping the fish do move down into this reserve area. I can fish to it from this bank, it's about 200 yards, so I'm pretty confident that we're in the right area. It is quite a large lake, and I believe the fish are down this end because the wind is pushing down here. It's going to get warmer as the week goes on. It's quite chilly today, about 10-12 degrees, which for this time of year here is quite cold. But the lake itself and the surroundings are absolutely beautiful. It's quite noisy. There's motorbikes, joggers, swimmers, there's all sorts going on, but that is public lake fishing, and I'm really looking forward to the week ahead. Okay, so we're only on our first day, but this is the approach I'm going to go in with bait-wise. I'm just going to use a boilie, some crushed tiger nut and a bit of hemp. On this trip I brought the banoffee, which is a shelf life, but I always seem to do very well on it abroad. I've caught so many fish on it in the last few years. It's got a lovely banana smell to it. Then you've got hemp, and then I've got tiger nuts. Now I know the carp in here love a tiger nut, but we are about a month behind on the weather. It's quite chilly, so I'm using a crushed tiger, so it's a little bit more digestible. And all I'm doing with that, I'll show you, is adding scoop of boilies straight into the bucket. then some hemp, plenty of hemp, loads of crunch in that, lots of oils coming up off it, and then the crushed tiger nut. And then I'm literally giving them all a good mix, and I'm either dropping them out in a rowing boat or in the bait boat. I'm fishing about 200 yards to a far margin today, so it's a lot easier to boat them across. There's about 6 or 7 anglers on here at the moment. No one is using a casting anywhere, everyone's using some type of boat. A very attractive mix. And I'm not going in mad, I'm putting about a scoop over each rod, but as the week goes on and the weather warms up, I might actually add a little bit more bait. Probably fishing 200 yards. There's a lot of snags and things. I'm trying to keep the fish high in the water so that it's off the bottom, where normally I would guide the fish in with a rod to the side and try and get him in and keep him calm, but on here I can't really afford to let them go down. Plenty of pressure and prayers. Definitely glad I swapped over to this braid. I can actually feel there's lots of grating and things out there, and that's the situation. You need this 30-pound braid in. Oh, heart is in my mouth. Come on. Come on, girl. In you go, in you go, in you go. Get in! Yes. We've got an alpine beast. My wrist is falling off. Cheers, mate. Wait. Bang on 38, isn't it? Yeah, 38 pound. Equalled the last trip on the first day. And if a 38 fights like that, God knows what a real monster's going to fight like in here. We'll get some water on her, a little bit of pro care. She's got a little few nicks on her fins and that I can help her out with. That literally soaked me. There you go, bang on 38 pounds, and it rucked like mad. It's our first day, we're mid-afternoon, and we weren't expecting bites till the evening. There's some really big carp in here, and I'm really chuffed to get off the mark so quick. Blowback rig, fish snowman style. I've got so much confidence in them size 4 beak points. They're super strong, super sharp, and here's the proof in the pudding. Let's talk about the rig. So I'm using a blowback rig with a shrink tubing on the kicker and on the shank of the hook, a size 4 beak point hook, 35 pound Camo X, so I've got a little bit more strength there. I've got a little anti-tangle sleeve just to kick it away from the lead, and I've got one of our large sinkers on there just to pull the hook link down a little bit extra. The bait is a Banoffee 18mm topped by a salty squid 15mm. It's quite a big hook bait. I want it to be a bit visual on the bottom. There's a lot of muck over there, twigs and things like that. I could have gone for a pop-up, but I've been tipped off that this is a very good rig to use on here. We've had one fish so far and it was on this rig, so we'll see how the session pans out, and if I have to change things I will. So for now, that's what I'll be starting the session off with. Snagged up. That's solid, that is. Well, as you can see, I hooked a fish, and as you will see from the footage, it found a snag, and it wasn't actually on the bank, it was just out in the middle of nowhere, and you could never sort of counter for that other than to go out and try and get the end tackle back, which I did. The fish is unfortunately gone. It left the hook in a big branch, but at least the fish is safe. But it's just one of them things. You fish in a public lake, there's all sorts of stuff gone in here over the years. I was turning up this week with no you know, expectations of loads of fish. I was thinking 4 or 5 fish for the week. It's a public venue. It does get pressured. I think there's 9 anglers on today. It is really hard. We're getting here early, so we're turning up in the dark, and we're fishing to about half an hour into the dark. So you're setting up and packing away in the dark. You're going back, getting 4 or 5 hours kit, and it's pretty go all week. By the end of this week, we're gonna be shattered. I hope that the carp gods see the effort we're putting in and pay us with a massive alpine carp.
Well, you see, after that last one, I literally grabbed hold of that rod and just walked it back away from that tree line. Hopefully we're out of danger. Like I say, this lake, there is a lot of unseen snags in it.
And this one is an absolute cracker. Just look at it, really angry, and they're all fighting really hard. So you don't know if you've got a 50 or a 30 on. And the lake is treacherous. You're playing them and you can literally feel it pinging off branches that are laying on the bottom. The braid is coming in very handy. What a lovely carp. And this is what we come to the Alps to catch. Gorgeous carp. Surely soon we're gonna get an Alps beast. But for now, I am happy catching these. Check out the tail on that. Lovely fish. That's me. It's gone over it. There's lots of sort of branches and things out in the lake, so I'm trying to keep them high in the water. So it's actually hit both my lines, this fish. Yeah. Good fish, mate. So fast. It's a really good fish, boss. The moment of truth. This is what I think I came to the French Alps for. A nice big alpine mirror. I wanted a 40 and it's £53. Well, check that out. 3rd time lucky in the Alps. I got what I come for, an Alps 50. And I'm absolutely over the moon. Not just any old carp, but an alpine carp. Thank you very much. we're just coming into the evening and we've put 50 back and we're literally getting our stuff ready to go back and have some dinner. 10th fish of the day. And the thing about braid is you can feel everything, every kick, turn, everything that carp's doing. It takes some getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's superior to probably any mono on the market just because of its strength, lack of stretch, and the control you've got over fish. Water is so clear. We're in the middle of the Alps, and this is probably snowmelt water, which means you can see everything these fish are doing. Ten takes, 9 fish on the first day. Check him out, covered in speckly scales. I've got a thing about the Alps, and you can see why. Beautiful scenery, mega carp, and this is my 3rd time back. Probably not my last, but I cannot believe how well the first day has gone. I was not expecting that. What a return to the Alps, and revenge has been set. Thank you, my darling. So we've had such a good day. We're getting packed up so we can go back, get a good night's sleep and get back nice and early in the morning and hopefully drop back into this area. Well, I'm just getting the last of the gear on the van. What I'm going to do is shoot round to the back of that area I've been fishing. I've got half a bucket of bait here. I'll sling that in, hopefully get back in this swim in the morning. I'll be here at first light, but before that I've got to get back, tie some fresh rigs, eat something and get some sleep. So I'll see you tomorrow. Braid really helps you keep in full contact with these fish, and you can even feel when they're hitting the branches that are along the bottom. This lake is absolutely littered with branches. You're good. You are good. £37. What a start to a day. £37 of pure brute male carp, and he is angry. It took me 2 minutes to get him into a wasteling. Yeah, what a lovely fish. Got back into the swim, then not long after that this has gone. £37, and we're only about an hour into the session of the 2nd day. What a mega carp. Going, it's over, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we've got utter chaos here. 3rd bite of the morning, and it's somehow managed to go around the middle rod as well, which on braid is always a little bit more of a nightmare because it almost grips the other braid. And you might think I'm playing these fish hard. I've got this IS into the butt because you can, that happens. Just hit something and cut me off, like a knife through a butter. It could have been the other braid. That's what you're dealing with. So imagine fishing nylon on here. I've just been cut off on £30 braid. I was cut off then by something very sharp. I've got another rig ready to go, but it's still early and we've had 3 bites, so there's a very good chance for another bite. But it's typical, sometimes you're just not meant to get them in, and other times you can do everything wrong and get them in, but that's carp fishing. Got another rod ready to go. Changed up a bit. I was using boilies yesterday, but the crayfish have been quite active. So what I'm doing, I'm still putting boilies in, but I'm fishing tigers with a little bit of plastic over the top, because the crayfish, they don't like the tigers and they can't get through them, so they just leave them alone. Stop chatting rubbish and get the rods out. Definitely the key time to get here, because these swims go. The lake is busy, so the local police are on the ball, so you've got to be off of here. The locals have seen us have a few fish today, and they'll try and get in this area tomorrow. But this is public lake fishing. I'm afraid there's a lot more to it than turning up, getting the rods out, having your dinner cooked for you, and showers at the ready. This fish wants to go up the mountain. Well, we're just on a bit of an early pack up, gonna go and get something to eat, and the rod's gone. 5th fish of the day, 38-pound mirror, covered in starburst scales, absolutely beautiful. It's very busy today, pike fishermen everywhere, the park's been full, so I'm looking forward to Tuesday when it could be a bit quieter. The heavens are just about to open up, so I'm gonna waste no time, I'm gonna get this lovely fish back, and we've been promised a kebab. So I have reeled in now. I'm going to go around to the area, take a look at it, and get a bit more bait in, and I will be back first light in the morning. So far we've managed to get that swim every day, which I think we've been pretty lucky, because some of the Dutch guys, they've noticed we're having a few fish, and hopefully they're just paying us a bit of respect and letting us get back in the same swim. Do you know what? One of the biggest attractions for fishing these public waters, apart from the environment you're sitting in being the prettiest you're ever likely to fish for a carp in, is the price. All you have to do is get a local license for that area, and you can literally go and fish the public waters. So if that doesn't attract you to here, just take a look at that. Got a couple of days left, and I'll be honest with you, the trip's done. I'm made up. I never expected to catch the fish I've caught. So everything from this point onwards is just a bonus. Another early morning. We've just got here probably about 20 minutes ago, and we're waiting for a little bit of light to come up. Just seen another couple of anglers turn up. So luckily we've done the effort of getting up early. So I'm just waiting for the sun to get up a bit so we're not breaking any rules. Then we're going to get onto the lake, get the rods out, because there's always an early morning feeding spell. Then there seems to be a bit of a lull, and then a later feeding spell. So we're definitely here for the first one. It's meant to be warmer today, thank God, because we can dry all our kit out, because it poured down with rain all day yesterday and everything's soaked. So at least we get a chance to dry something out. Right, let's get some gear out. as per usual, absolutely savage take. And I know this week I've spoke about braid and the use of strong tackle. 35-pound Camo X, size 4 beak point hooks, which I could have gone up to the double X's. These have performed brilliantly. Other than extreme circumstances, I can't see you could play a carp any harder than you have to play them in here. They're absolute animals. The lake is savage and you have to keep them up off the bottom. And of course, that means you're going to lose the odd one, but the ratio is good. And the maddest thing is, they fight all the way in. It's like literally an ordeal. It's a big common. Well, Paul asked me if I could sort the week out and get a big common. How's that, boss? What the hell? £40. That'll do, we'll take that. Well, look at that. £40 on the nose, and what an amazing looking carp. Absolutely beautiful. And do you know what? This week's going so well. I think the only thing that could top a beautiful carp like this is one of the big old mirrors that live in this lake. It is open. For now, super pleased with this one. What an amazing carp, look at it. Well, you really do know you're in a public park here. We've had horses walking through the swim, motorbikes, swimmers going down the middle of the lake. I've had my lines taken out by pike anglers. The police threw some anglers off last night because they were trying to stay here for the night, and you're only doing days. On the bright side, it's a beautiful place. The fishing's been going well. We've had quite a few fish, including a £52 mirror and a £48 mirror, and things are looking really good. I'm just doing the lads some sausage sandwiches. Well, actually, that's a lie. What I've done is one of the lads has cooked these. Now they're making it look like I've cooked them, because I would never burn the sausages like Rob has. Hopefully later on, or one evening this week, we'll have a bit more of a catch up at a barbecue and things like that. But right now, I'm going to get some sausage rolls done, and we've got the rods out, waiting for another fish. An absolute beautiful carp. Fish in here are proper stunning. You know what, I wish the park lakes back home had fish in them like these. I wouldn't have to travel so far. But yeah, immaculate condition mirror. I haven't weighed him yet. I'm guessing he's around £38. Wicked, things are going brilliant. This spot we baited yesterday. We left early yesterday. There was a snag I've just been fishing the left-hand side of for the last few days and getting a few bites. So what we decided to do is put more bait on that snag, but fish one either side of it. This morning they are on it. Remember, you can't fish nights on there, so that means they've got a whole night to feed freely on that bait. So when we turn up this morning, we're only fishing probably still what you deem a lot of bait. 3/4 kilo of 18mm banoffee, active 8. dynamite tiger nuts and crushed tiger nut, a little bit of hemp, so a real old mix in there. So they're not only coming in and eating the boilies, the smaller food items are keeping them on the spot for longer. Life don't get much better than being stood in the middle of the French Alps, looking at snow on the mountains, playing a big carp. Come darling, look at that. Lovely. Life don't get much better than this, I tell you. £42, absolutely beautiful carp, and I can't keep saying how good this trip's going. It's been amazing. Not all tails of carp are going to be like this, but when they are, I'm taking it. This has gone and it feels a good fish. Really took some, no. That's it. Got it off the bottom. I thought we found a snag then, and it feels heavy. I've not hooked anything like this yet, but this one, he's fought hard and he stayed deep and heavy the whole way in. He's a good fish. Oh, that's a really good fish. Absolute beast, that. Yes. That is a monster. That is a monster. I mean, it really is. Come on. That's what we come here for. Get in. Get the beers out. Well, on the way here, there was a particular fish that I would love to have caught from this lake, and it's only gone and happened. This fish has got a nickname, and it's called the number 8 fish, and that's because of that scale on the side of it. And at one point, she's been the biggest carp in the lake. She's so old now, I think she's lost a ton of weight. She's been 68 pound, she's now 54. Oh, check that out. I was dreaming of this fish on the way here. We knew it was here. I can't quite believe I've caught it. Absolutely brilliant. Proper old beast. 54 pounds. At one time this fish was 68 pounds. She's been a really big fish. Not that she ain't big now, but she's getting on. Absolutely blown away. You well deserve a kiss. The number 8 fish, one I thought about all the way here. Now she's in my hands. Best trip I've ever had to the French Alps. This really has been a perfect tailor carp. Oh yeah, just one day, like finish on a big one. The week couldn't actually get any better. I've always loved it. You know, you go on a lake and there goes a fish in here called such and such. I've always loved that. A little target to go for. Catching number 8 fish. I'm more pleased with that fish than any fish this week, because I know we come to Europe for big fish. So this trip really was a return for some revenge to catch a big Alps carp, and it couldn't have gone any better. We only just re-dropped that rod. I'm dropping out the bait boat, and even though I don't hold it back, you don't want it to come away from the food that's dropping. I just let it ping through my fingers, and it was been pinging about 2.5 to 3 turns off of the spool. This one done 1 ping, so I know it's about 6 foot where they're dropping, but one of the others went 4, and I think it's just too deep because the fish have come right up that shelf today. Be good. There you go. Oh, look at you. Beautiful carp. Last morning, caught a couple of males and they're milting everywhere. They're not far off spawning in here, next few days I think, so I'm not going to have him out long. I'll get him back, but what a beautiful carp. Check out the scales on the tail there. Proper starburst. These fish are amazing in here. What an absolutely mental carp. Living up here in the middle of the Alps, among the mountains. We was just looking at wildlife, frogs, lizards, all types of birds. Ross has been in his element, so yeah, what a place. And what a stunning creature. 47 pounds, and there's still hope of a bigger one yet. But for now, I'm absolutely buzzing with these. Check it out, massive carp. It's been pouring down all morning, and just as the rain stopped, this one's ripped off. Mega battle, and yeah, just under 48 pounds, well chuffed. Another Alps beast. Isn't been around a few years, this one, by the looks of him. Tail damage and things. Just under 62, 61.12. Yes, well chuffed for that. An Alps beast. This is what we came to the Alps for. We came for a 50 and we're leaving with a 60. 60 pounds of pure mountain beast. That's what we come here for. Here we go. Look at that. We came here for a public lake 40, started with a 50, and now we've had a 60. 61.12 of old French Alps carp. Been coming to the Alps for a little over 2 years. This is my third trip, and this is why. You can catch 60 pounders all over the world, but to catch them sitting among the most beautiful scenery you're ever going to see in your life, in gin clear water that is probably melted snow, you're never going to beat it. Public lake 60 in the mountains. Yes. Well, it's been 2 years since our first trip to the Alps, and I've dreamed of catching something like this, and we've done it on a tail of carp. Last time we had to leave early, so we come back from revenge and we got it. And I love it.